This is an example of macro with positional parameters. Okay, we will look at how the macro processor performs expansion when it encounters positional parameters. Okay, for simplicity, I have taken a single macro in my particular piece of code. Okay, the name of the macro is incr, but there can be more than one macro in our program or in our piece of code, and also macro can appear anywhere in our program, need not be always above our line called as start. So macro can appear anywhere, that is they can appear also in between between the two lines start and end. Okay, it is not compulsory that all macros should be written above start. Okay, before we look at the expansion, we'll just look at the macro briefly and look at the data structures that we require to expand this code. Okay, so the first keyword here represents the start of the macro. So with this word, it means macro processor recognizes that this is a macro and certain processing needs to be done. The first word following this keyword macro is the name of the macro, which is known as incr. Here this line is called as a prototype statement. A prototype statement always contains the name of the macro followed by the parameters. Okay, now in this particular prototype statement we have three parameters, and all three parameters are of the type positional. They are called positional parameters because formal parameters will be replaced by actual parameters based on the order in which they appear in the expansion. Okay, that is why the name is called as positional parameters. And if you wish to write a positional parameter, the syntax is to write an ampersand followed by the parameter name as shown over here. So we've got three positional parameters here, the first one being ampersand mv, second one being ampersand inv, and third one being ampersand reg. Okay, the line following this prototype statement happens to be a model statement, which during expansion becomes an assembly language statement. Okay, then the next line add also is a model statement, and so is move m. All three of them, when used in expansion, they become assembly language statements. Then we have this word called as men, which indicates the end of the macro incr. Okay, now we have this word called as start, which means the program begins from here. Okay, and the next line happens to be a declarative statement, okay, using ds. And then we have this macro call. The macro call is written by the name of the macro, and we need to pass the formal parameter values which will substitute the we need to pass the actual parameter values which will substitute the formal parameters that are present in our macro. Okay, so there are three formal values over here. There are three actual values that are present here, each substituting each formal parameter that appears in incr. So for the formal parameter mv, we have this actual value as a, and for the formal parameter inv, we need to substitute by this actual value b, and for reg we substitute by a register. So this is a macro call. And finally end, which indicates the end of the program. Okay, to do this expansion, okay, we require data structures like MNT, which stands for macro name table. The parameters actually consist of a macro name, okay, macro name followed by number of positional parameters represented by hash pp, the number of keyword parameters, that is hash kp, the number of expansion time variables hash ev, a pointer to the macro definition table, a pointer to a keyword parameter default table, and a pointer to the sequencing table. Okay, and this is a simple example for only positional parameters. So most of the values for kp and hash ev will all be 0. Even kp dpt and sstp will be 0 because there are no keyword parameters, nor there are any expansion time variables. Okay, there's a single MNT created for all the macros that are there in our program. Okay, the next data structure that we are going to use will be the macro definition table that would contain the body of the macro, okay, which is required during expansion. There's a single MDT, okay, because there is a single MDT, that is why we need a pointer to this MDT table, because we need to know for a particular macro where the body is exactly stored. Okay, then we also require another table, okay, that is PN tab, which stands for parameter name table, which keeps the parameters that appear in our macro. Okay, the list is present over here, whether it is positional or keyword with default values parameter, all of them are entered into this parameter name table. Okay, now parameter name table will be as would be overwritten for every macro. That is, when it is processing the first macro, the parameters associated with this macro would make an entry into this particular table, and once that macro processing is over, this table would be overwritten by parameters that belong to the second macro, if there is any. Okay, so a single parameter, this is a table which gets overwritten depending on how many macros are present in our program and whether those macros contain these parameters. Okay, now MEC is a data structure that is used during expansion, and so is the actual parameter table that is used during expansion. So MEC is stands for macro expansion counter, which keeps track of the next line that has to be expanded, and AP tab, or the actual parameter table, is used to substitute the actual values for the formal parameters. Okay, like I've mentioned before, MV, INV and REG are the formal parameters, and A, B and A register are your actual parameters, which should substitute these formal parameters. Okay, so to look at the expansion now. Okay, the macro processor sees the keyword macro. When it sees the keyword macro, it understands that the first word following this keyword macro happens to be the name of the macro, so an entry is made in this macro name table. Next, it looks at the first parameter over here, which is a positional parameter, so it increments #pp by 1 and makes an entry into this parameter name table, saying that I found a parameter and the name of that parameter happens to be as MV. Okay, then it increments the pointer by 1. Now it goes to the next parameter that also is a positional parameter, so it increments #pp by 1, makes it 2 and makes an entry into this parameter table, and it says that the second parameter is INV. Okay, and next one happens to be a positional parameter, so #pp is incremented by 1, so it becomes 3, and it goes into the PN tab. Okay, and makes an entry into it, and it says that it is the third parameter happens to be register, and the pointer is incremented by 1. Okay, after that we see that there are no more parameters, so our parameter name table is complete for this particular macro called as INCR. Okay, there are no keyword parameters, so #kp is equal to 0. There are no expansion time variables, so #ev is equal to 0. The current value of the current pointer to MDT is at 1, so if you look here, it's at 1, so this value is set at 1. Now KP, DPT and SSTP are set to 1, which is later modified to 0 because there are no sequencing symbols and no keyword parameters in this particular example. Okay, so at the end of pass 1, we will check if there are any sequencing symbols and any keyword parameters, and if it is not there, then this value is set to 0. Okay, so we are using or following the algorithm prescribed by the author Dam Dere in his book System Programming and Operating System. Okay, so once the macro processor finish processing this line, it goes to the next line. So if you look at those lines, there are 3 lines here. Each one of them is a model statement. Okay, so what it does is it takes them and places its entry into MDT. So the first line is move R, so it writes here as move R but in place of register it will go to this parameter name table, and it will see that register is associated with number 3. So instead of writing register here, what it does is it will write p comma hash 3, because referencing a parameter by number is quicker than referencing a parameter by name. That is why it is substituting register by 3. Okay, next it looks at MV, and in the parameter table MV is having number 1, so it will write p comma hash 1. Okay, so the parameter at position 1 in our parameter name table, so increment the pointer by 1. Go to the next line. The next line is add, so take it and place it in our MDT, which is add, and register is at position 3, so p comma hash 3, okay, followed comma INV. So if you look at a parameter name table, INV is at position 2, and that is why it will write here p comma hash 2. So it refers to that parameter which is at position 2 in a parameter name table. Then it increments the pointer by 1, and it goes to this line called as move m. Okay, it's a model statement, so an entry is made into our table and we write it as p comma hash 3, okay, comma and p comma hash, and because we are talking about MV and MV is at position 1, we will write this as 1. Next we increment the pointer by 1, and then we look at the next line which happens to be mend, and this mend is also included as a part of MDT, which indicates that the macro INCR is now complete. Okay, and this MDT value is updated. So if you have a next macro, then its MDTP will be having the value 5, saying the body of that second macro begins at position 5, because MDT is common for all the macros. Okay, data structure is common for all the macros. Okay, after that it sees that there are no more macros in our program, and we finish processing this INCR and sees that KP is 0. So KPDPT is set to 0, saying there are no keyword parameters, and since there are no sequencing symbols, SSTP is also set to 0. So this finishes pass 1 of our macro processor. So we need to go to pass 2, which is basically related to the expansion. Okay, so the first line it sees after mend is start. So what it does is it will compare start with the name of the macro, which is INCR. Since they do not match, so it will copy that line as it is. Okay, the macro processor copies that line as it is because it has made a conclusion that this is not a macro call. Okay, next it looks at ADS1 and it compares DS with the name of the macro INCR, which does not match, and so it writes the line as it is. But when it comes to this line INCR, it says that this is matching to this name in this MNT, so this happens to be a macro call. So this line has to be replaced by the body of the macro, which is at position 1. Okay, so starting from position 1 till mend, all these lines have to be substituted for this macro call called as INCR. Okay, the expanded lines will be written with the help of a plus. So the plus indicates that these were lines that were replaced by macro processor during expansion. Okay, so in INCR, okay, when it recognizes that INCR is a macro call because it is matching the name in the MNT, okay, it creates something called as an AP tab. Okay, so this AP tab is created, okay, and this AP tab is created with how many values? That is hash pp plus hash kp. So 3 plus 0 is 3, so it will say that AP tab should have 3 values. So there should be 3 actual parameter values. Okay, and then it will set this MEC value to this MDTP. So MDTP value is 1, so MEC is set to 1. Okay, so we no longer require this PN tab. Okay, so what we can do is we can eliminate it, or we do not need to look at it. So we can eliminate it from our program. I will replace it below here. Okay, so just I will put it over here. Okay, so that you don't get confused. Okay, right. So we are just look at MEC, which is set to this MDTP value, which is 1, and AP tab has 3 parameters got from hash PP plus hash KP. So what value should be entered here? The values will be, since all 3 of them are positional parameters, they will be entered in the order in which they appear. So the first one that appears is A, second one is B, and third one is A register. That is why order is very important in positional parameters. So what it basically says that A will substitute MV, B will substitute INV, and A register will substitute REG, okay, for which is there in PN tab. Okay, once this is done, okay, using this MEC, okay, once it will what it actually means is that the AP tab values will replace the AP tab values, which consists of actual values, will replace this formal parameters that are present in PN tab values. And like I mentioned already, I've mentioned before that for MV we are going to replace it by A because the position is 1. INV will be replaced by B, which is because it is at position 2, and register will be replaced by A register, which is at position 3. Okay, so the position becomes very, very important. Okay, so what it is going to do now is it will look at this MEC value, which is 1, so goes to the first line in MDT, takes the first line, and it was going to make an entry here and write it as move R. So instead of P comma hash 3, it will look at the AP tab, and this AP tab will see that at 3 the value is A register, so it is going to write A register, A register, comma, and then it says P comma hash 1, so it will look at AP tab, P comma hash 1 is A, so it will write A. Okay, next the MEC value is incremented sequentially, so we can write here MEC value takes 2, so it goes to the next line, and then it sees it's an add statement, so it has to be written, so we write here add followed by P comma hash 3. So in AP tab the value at position 3 is A register, so we write A register, comma, then we see P comma hash 2, so at position 2 it is a B, so we write here B. Then MEC is incremented by 1, which is 3. Go to the third line, it's a move M statement, so we write here, so move M. P comma hash 3, we all know it is A register in AP tab, and P comma hash 1, okay, in the AP tab we have an A, so this is an A. And after that MEC is incremented by 1, so which is 4, and 4 we have MEND, so we stop, so it does not become a part of our expanded code. Okay, so this is how this macro call is getting expanded to 3 lines. Okay, so expansion takes place for this macro call. Then the word following INCR happens to be N, it does not match the macro name, so it writes it as it is. So this is our expanded code. Okay, once that is INCR gets replaced by the body of the macro. So this is how expansion takes place in case of macro with positional parameters.